Here in Northern California lies one of the largest quarter horse breeding and training operations in the country, Brooks Quarter Horses. It's a slice of heaven for horses and horse lovers, as this 7,000-acre ranch is nestled in the hills of California's Gold Country. Leonard Brooks is at the helm, and he credits much of his success to a horse he bought almost 20 years ago, a stallion named Plum Dry.
And I bought him as a 2-year-old, and I liked his pedigree. I wanted to cross him on the grandson of 3 Bars mares. And so I bought him in 1983. And in 1984, he won the world champion rein cow horse snaffle bit in Reno. And he beat 254 horses. And I won $75,000.
Still going strong today, Plum Dry has gone to be the foundation of his breeding operation.
He's had over around 425 foals.
This operation doesn't stop at breeding these great bloodlines. Every horse here, whether it's going to be a top performance horse or just a pleasure ride, goes through an effective training process. When a horse leaves Brooks Quarter Horses, it's been started and broke well. Leonard starts all his horses in a snaffle bit. But one of the secrets to his training success is what he does next. And where did he discover this? Watching Horse TV.
Well, the first time I saw this was I was watching TV and I was switching channels and I hit a horse. And of course, when I hit the horse, I was interested. And Mikmar was advertising their bit on it. So I see the flexion they had on that bit. I could see that the horse was responding to that bit. So I said, well, I'm going to send to get a couple of those. And I did. And when I first got them, I thought I got a piece of junk. But I put them in a horse's mouth and that changed pretty fast. They were the best thing I ever stuck in a horse's mouth.
All Leonard's horses go to a Mikmar bit after being started in the snaffle. The Mikmar bits save training time. And with this many horses in training, time is money.
It has changed this operation. I save at least 6 months training a horse. And if you put that at $600 or $700 a month, it runs into a few dollars.
The Mikmar bits were invented by trainer Frank Evans. He designed the training bit so that it would divide the pressure to 4 places: the nose, mouth, chin, and poll. This gives you more control with less discomfort to any one area for the horse. The horse tends to easier understand what's being asked of him. Although Mikmar has been around since the early 1950s, it was just last year that Leonard Brooks found them, and he'll never forget the first horse he tried it on.
There was a broke horse. It was about a 10-year-old gelding we had here, and the horse was probably worth about $10,000. And I stuck that Mikmar bit in the first time we ever rode him in it, and the cowboy turned him on a fence, and he stuck his hind feet up under him and just turned around and made from a $10,000 horse to a $25,000 horse. And with a Mikmar, within 30 days, they get as much flexion as a year with a grazing bit. This is a 4-year-old repeat a hobby gelding. He's out of a Plum Dry mare, and he's been started in a snaffle bit, and he's been in this Mikmar for about 10 rides. And I sold him to a local girl that was a rodeo queen in Oakdale. We're training a horse for her so she can show it in rodeo queen contests. And now you can see what that bit does. This is about 10 times we've used it. So you can see that the horse has got a lot of flexion and you got a lot of collection. You can stop him like that, it's just like a dime, and he slides halfway across the arena, you know. Attaboy. This is a 3-year-old gelding by Sandman Badger, the stud we have on this ranch. He's out of a Plum Dry mare. We're going to show him at the gelding stakes in LA, and this colt's the second time he's had this bit in his mouth. You see how he stops. He gets them hind feet up under him and he backs, flexes, backs in a straight line, got a lot of control. We ride this horse for 6 months in this bit, and we'll have a lot of collection. I like to stop on him. He puts a whoa on him, and he doesn't gap. This is probably the second time this horse had a bit, and you can see he doesn't resent it at all. Makes a cowboy have a good hands. That's good. This is a plumb dry mare, 4 years old. We started her with a snaffle bit and then put her into this Mikmar long shank bit. And she's been in about 60 days. You can see she's got a lot of flexion, and you'll see that she collects real good. She's would make a top team penner or sorting horse. But using this Mikmar saves about 6 months of training. And that training costs money, and so it's a real savings. The horses accept it real nice. You can see they don't gap, they don't throw their head. She's all collected. She's got her hind end up under her, and she can move any direction. And you've got a lot of control on them when they'll flex like that. She's broke pretty good, and you can see she accepts that bit. Just puts her hind legs up on her, use her hocks pretty nice. You can have made a cutting horse or a reining horse or just one to carry the flag on. It's one of the best things I ever stuck in a horse's mouth.
Since Leonard's horses are trained in the Mikmar Bits, he makes sure the customers who buy the horses stay with what the horse is used to. He likes to have his customers ride in the Mikmar short shank, a variation of the Mikmar training bit.
I know if I used my regular curb bit on her, when I'm losing it because of my inexperience, she would be fighting the bit, and with the Mikmar, she doesn't. She just kind of goes with me, and we settle down, and she continues on.
You actually had to make more contact with his face on the snaffle, and this bit, he kind of just lowers his nose and goes forward and doesn't test you like he tested with the snaffle. He's only 3, so he's still learning his boundaries.
It's been a good diversification from the cattle business. The first few years were a little tough going, but now the cattle business isn't all that great, and the horse business is big time.
And the reason Brooks quarter horses are big time? It's because of the dedication to the breeding and training of fine quarter horses by Leonard Brooks.